Yo, what's good, Bills Mafia? It's Stevie Johnson, and you're in the sit down with my man Sauce God. Go Bills. Yo.
Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same. Freedom over fame. Freedom over fame. The cycle stays the same. Freedom over fame. Freedom over fame. Freedom over fame. The cycle stays the same. Freedom over cycle stays the same. Freedom over fame. Freedom over fame. The cycle stays the same. Freedom over fame.
Let's get this over with. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's simple, baby. Buffalo Bills football is back, all right? And we tell you something.
I'm gonna crack a cold one because since it's a tailgate.
Ooh, ice cold, Mike. Let me tell you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are live here in the Sit Down with Sauce God, a sports and entertainment show.
I'm whipping the sauce, I'm tripping, of course, I want it all. All of my dogs be running with God. Your mama, you're holding your pennies in raw. Cause when I get whipping the sauce, you taking it off. I'm dancing on tracks like stomping the yard. We keeping it quiet, we moving the signs. But now we starting to riot, yeah. Keeping my eye on the prize. I got me a queen, we riding like Bonnie and Clyde. Trips to Dubai, the way I be blessing. I'm destined for changing my decimals. Decibels hitting the wave, I'm rapping incredible. Splitting their head like a cantaloupe edible. Got me so high, I'm touching the sky. Of course, I give it my all. I'm whipping the sauce, kicking the door. But then we been here before. She ain't involved, well, she ain't involved. Taking my shot, even if down, we tying the score. Do your dancing, now twist, don't stress, don't trip. Whipping sauce real quick, stay dripping. Sipping on cognac, roll tea in my veins, but you find that I'm whipping it, watch it get saucy.
How you doing it?
I'm twisting and mixing them, shaking them haters right off me.
What you doing?
Yes, you're live here in the Sit Down, a sports and entertainment show right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live at Buffalo Sauce God, and also on the Gamebooks Facebook page. Joined here as, of course, my co-host for the evening, Kirby, who is actually going to be representing the Jacksonville Jaguars, the team that, of course, Bills Mafia, we are going to be coming up in Monday Night Football to play against. Kirby, before we start off any of the show and what we got coming up, because we have a jam-packed show, we're waiting for Modown to get in here as well. How are you doing on this fine Friday evening?
Man, thank God it's Friday. I just got to say, I'm cracking a cold one, you know. That after work brew is it hits way better on a Friday, let me tell you. So I'm enjoying this. I'm excited for this game day, dude. We got lots to talk about, man. I'm excited.
And I tell you what, obviously you have a ton of respect for the Buffalo Bills. You're not a guy that's going to come in here necessarily bashing the Bills, but obviously, your team is currently 0-2, and it's something that you guys want to get back on the right track. And of course, you're playing in a very tough division right now with the way that Houston looks. Even the Colts have been a little nitty gritty in some of their games as well, but I still have a lot of confidence in the Jaguars. And obviously, we've had some history in recent years where we've had some kind of weird games go on, but if you're just now tuning in, Bills Mafia, this is the sit down right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live with Sauce God and Kirby, and we're expecting Mo Down to come in here in just a little bit. This show is presented by Duff's Famous Wings, BuffaloSauceGuy.com, Louis Bar in Attica, and also the Big Tree Inn in Orchard Park. And don't forget in Depew, the Zuba Zone 716 sports card and memorabilia store. That is our guy Mo Down that owns that. We have a jam-packed show. We have to talk about everything the Buffalo Bills did right against the Miami Dolphins offensively and defensively to get themselves a 31-10 victory. It wasn't exactly led by Josh Allen. Who was it led by? We'll talk about all that much more right here. So hit us with a like and a share. Join us here in the comments section as well. It's Friday evening, guys. I mean, it's the weekend. Obviously, we saw the Jets and the Patriots play last night. So instead of talking about on this day in sports history, something that we normally do to start the show off, Kirby, did you catch any of the game last night?
I did. I watched it to the very end. Pretty entertaining if you're a Jets fan, I gotta say.
I mean, honestly, the Jets looked a heck of a lot better. Aaron Rodgers looked, I'm not going to say like his old self, because that's just not going to happen. He is his old self now. You know what I mean? He is old. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, the Patriots showed that they got their first couple, they got the first one against the Bengals. But it's not exactly a team to get so excited and so hyped up about, because they do have some talent defensively. They have a young coach who's in his first year as a head coach, a former player for the Patriots, Gerard Mayo. And obviously the Jets have had a ton of talent on their football team for some years now, and they've been expected to get to the playoffs. And a lot of people expected them to kind of come in and dethrone the Buffalo Bills. I have never really necessarily agreed with that. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, Bills Mafia, we are talking about the Jets won a 24-3 victory last night for Thursday Night Football. The Bills will not be playing on Sunday. The Bills actually will be playing Monday night against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the team of our guy here, Kirby. He's representing right now. Kirby, we're going to talk more about the Jaguars when we get to Monday night's pregame show. So if you guys haven't already done so, make sure you're liked, following, and subscribe with those notifications turned on, because you don't want to miss the live versions of the sit-down. But if you're not able to catch the live versions of this, it is available via audio podcast, wherever you may get your podcast from, Apple, Spotify. Heck, I think it's even on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys check that out as well. Give a follow so you never miss any of the shows of the sit-down or any of the content that I got covering the Buffalo Bills and all Buffalo sports right here. Sauce God's got you guys covered. So we're going to go right into the Miami Dolphins game against the Buffalo Bills. We went into Miami. We came out with a 31-10 victory. On the previous show that we had a pregame show, and I actually talked a little bit about that I didn't think Josh Allen was going to be the reason that this team won the football game. Don't get me wrong. He did his part. He didn't turn the football over. He played a clean game. He made passes when he had to. But this game was all there's Mo Down right there with the Lakers jersey on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Mo Down. What's going on, Mo Down?
Let's go.
To sit down, brother. Happy Friday.
We're shaking,
How are you
y'all.
doing this Friday?
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're not late. You're just in time, brother. So talk to me, Mo Down. How are you feeling? It's Friday evening. Right next to me on the other side is Kirby, who is actually
What's up, Kirby? How you doing, brother?
So that's gonna be kind of
You're good, man. Hope you're doing
so.
well.
If you guys don't already know, that's Mo Down. Mo Down is our guy who's gonna have his own segment here to talk about the Mo Down hits of the week. But this week is gonna be a little bit special because we have to hashtag let James cook. But we're talking about the Buffalo Bills and Dolphins game right now, Mo Down. And obviously, you remember on the pregame show, I said I didn't think Josh Allen was going to be the reason the Buffalo Bills won. I did say Ray Davis was my pick for the game book MVP, but I really did believe James Cook was going to have himself a day. So I'm going to give you guys the quick rundown of the stats here. Josh Allen finished the day 13 for 19, 139 yards and a touchdown. Not a bad day. It's more of like an average day. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't turn the football over. He played a clean game and he made passes when he had to. The game was really all about James Cook and that defense. James Cook had 11 carries for 78 yards. That's good for enough for 7.1 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. Ray Davis added 9 carries for 29 yards. Josh Allen only had 2 carries for 2 yards. Khalil Shakir had a carry for 2 yards as well. And, of course, Mitch Trubisky had the 2 most important carries, 2 for -2 yards because he put the knee down, made victory formation.
Victory.
And the Buffalo receiving corps was led by Khalil Shakir, 5 catches for 54 yards. Ty Johnson had himself a nice catch, 1 catch for 33 yards. Dalton Kincaid found himself targeted early, 4 catches for 33 yards. And James Cook, of course, had that 17-yard reception that ended up being a touchdown. So all in all, the Buffalo Bills offense played great, but let's talk about the defense. Damar Hamlin led all tacklers, tied with Balen Spector and Dorian Williams. Hey, 2 young linebackers. That's what you want to see out of your young linebackers. 10 tackles each. Damar Hamlin had 8 solo, 1 for a loss. Let's go down to our sacks. We had Ed Oliver with a sack. He was huge. He was huge against Miami. Then you have Von Miller getting himself a sack in consecutive weeks as well. So that defense ramped it up, right? But let's also talk about the interceptions. Jamarcus Ingram had 2 interceptions. Christian Benford had 1 interception. I talked a little bit about what I thought the secondary was capable before we saw it. They made the plays, starting off with that immediate boom, batted ball in the air. Modown, what did you make of when we saw that first interception?
I knew we had him kind of frazzled already, man, right off the jump. That's all it takes for Tua. You got to give him a little bit of pressure, and he can crumble easy. And then again, our secondary really stepped up. It's a combination of that, right? Getting him riled up, and then secondary was on point, man. Really surprised.
The secondary was just, they were there all day. I mean, and everybody could say that first throw that Tua had batted into the air, that was a great throw. That was on the money, and the receiver just didn't have his fucking hands up. And obviously, the defense made their plays.
The no-name Joe,
it
was he had no-name receivers.
We do have a little bit of something to be kind of cautious about. The lowdown with Modown in the injury report, we know that Terrell Bernard is not expected to play, and Taron Johnson. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, hey, those are 2 tough losses, but what we've seen out of Balen Spector so far is some guy that is ready to step up into this role. And I've always believed that when you have opportunities like this, you have to make the very best of them. We're going to see a little bit of Buffalo Joe, I think, and that's something big as well. Hey, we hope these guys get healthy, but it's all about who's on the field and ready to go because, of course, Bills Mafia, we have ourselves a Monday Night Football game in Orchard Park against Kirby's beloved Jacksonville Jaguars over there smiling. Gabe Davis is going to be coming back home for his first game against the Buffalo Bills. I'm excited to welcome Gabe back into Buffalo. I have a lot of love and respect for Gabe Davis. But if you guys haven't already done so, do us a favor. Hit that like and a share because we're going to go into the Sauce 'em Up weekly highlights for the Buffalo Bills. Let's go ahead and get into it, ladies and gentlemen, right here in the sit-down. All right, so immediately we see this. Achan is going to get tackled for a loss. The Bills defense with Rasul Douglas out there getting himself a tackle for a loss early is kind of what set the tone as Miami was on their first offensive drive. Tua's going to take the snap here. He's going to look down the field, and he throws himself a nice pass, but that is tipped in the air, picked off, and that is going to be the Buffalo Bills' first interception of 3 on the day. That was a defense that was determined to shut them out early, and they did exactly just that. They took the fucking air out of their wings. My girlfriend even said, hey, it looks like they're defeated already. Josh Allen's going to throw this one over to James Cook, and it's going to be good enough for a 17-yard catch and a score. James Cook starting that day off with his first of 3 offensive touchdowns, earning himself the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. We got Tua dropping back out of the pistol formation, looks down the field, and again it is picked off, this time by 47. And I'm telling you what, Bills Mafia, that's what you like to see out of some of your guys like Christian Benford, Jamarcus Ingram, Rasul Douglas, Damar Hamlin. That's huge. Bills going to kick the field goal here, and then, hey, that's what you want, right? When you have opportunities to still get 3 points, it might not be 7. It doesn't matter. You have to make the best of those opportunities. Josh Allen's going to look down the field, and this was a pivotal throw and catch right here to Khalil Shakir. He fit that into a tight window and kept the drive going. We were deep in our own end zone at that point. Josh Allen looked poised, confident, and comfortable. He didn't look like he had to play Superman at all. And Josh Allen's going to roll to his right. He's going to look down the field, and he's going to find Ty Johnson just short of the end zone. And that's what you want to see right there out of your backup running back who, hey, Ty Johnson understands I got to make use of every carry that I get, every touch that I get, but James Cook's going to make use of his second touchdown right here for the Buffalo Bills. James Cook, hashtag let James Cook, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about James Cook being a big part of this offense and pivotal going forward as Miami is looking to get something going here. And that's going to be another tackle for a loss. Man, this defensive line and the linebackers did their job. Defensively, you couldn't ask for a better performance out of your, hey, this is a defense that people said lost a step. They lost guys. Doesn't matter because look at this one. Tua's going to step up and get sacked by Ed Oliver, baby. I'll tell you what, boys, this was a great example of just textbook defense. And then you're going to see James Cook take off for a huge burst here. He's got one man to beat, the former Buffalo Bill, Jordan Poyer, and he flips into the end zone because they not like us. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag let James Cook. Ladies and gentlemen, What a freaking performance by the Buffalo Bills, offensively and defensively, every aspect of this game. All three phases of football, they got it done. And they did a good job containing Devon Achane, who got a lot of touches. He did score a touchdown. He was big in the running and passing game. Tua's going to throw it because he's under pressure, and he's going to get picked off right here for the third interception for the Buffalo Bills defense, and that's going to be good enough for a pick 6. And again, let's take a look as Chan is going to run. Doesn't matter. Swallowed up, tackled for a loss yet again. The Buffalo Bills offense did their job. They scored the points when they had to. They made points off of turnovers. They didn't turn the football over. They didn't have offensive penalties. They didn't have defensive penalties. They played a very clean game. And I talked with Modown about this on the pregame show, that I felt if they didn't have penalties, turnovers, that there was just no way on earth that anybody's going to beat this team. So I like what I saw out of the Bills offensively and defensively. We all know that Tua left the game with a concussion injury, and he is going to be out for at least the next 4 weeks as he was placed on IR. Prayers up for Tua, man. As much as I don't like him because he plays for Miami, he is a good human, and he is a person, and I don't want to see anything bad happen to a guy like that. So, but hey, so
real quick on
that,
that,
those highlights, brother. I mean, we saw James Cook getting it going. Josh Allen wasn't exactly the hero. Does that concern you at all?
For sure. No, that didn't concern me. I just wanted to touch on that. So just real quick, do you think Tua should retire? Just real quick, either of you guys?
No.
Kirby?
No. And then you, Sauce?
Okay. It's tough, okay, because he's had a lot of significant head injuries in the last couple of years. And I say wholeheartedly, health should come first. Careers like Tom Brady don't happen very often. You want a better example of what happens to a quarterback that plays for a long, long time? Look at Brett Favre. That's a better example of a guy that just got hurt too much. He played because he's a gunslinger, right? But Tua, if he's deemed unhealthy to where he can't play, I believe he could collect the entirety of his contract. Now, I'm sure that Miami would try to do something to reverse some of that because that's just what they're going to do. But overall, I think he should retire. You need to think about your family first. I'm not saying because I don't want to play against him. I don't care who you fucking have a quarterback.
Not at all. Because I don't fear the dude.
But yeah, I do think Modown that he should, because it's just they're significant. You know what I'm saying? How many times in the last 2 years have we seen, we say the throwing up gang signs, that, but it's true. And it's just because he doesn't know how to, and Tyler talked about this before, how he doesn't know how to fall properly sometimes, right?
Yep.
Modown, what do you think? Should he retire?
I do. I definitely do. And only for that safety aspect, man. When you are throwing up gang signs like that and your arms are doing that fencing and shit that they call it, dude, that's serious. That's spinal cord. That's not just brain. That's like spinal cord, like whiplash style shit, man. And that's scary, dude. Like, I don't wish nothing on nobody. He's a human. He's a family man. He's a father. To see somebody go through that almost brings tears to your eyes and shivers down your own spine.
It really does.
And to happen twice to him, that's rough.
Kirby.
I the only reason I say yes is I understand where everybody's coming from, but I feel like it should be his decision, and I feel like he is actually feeling a lot of pressure from a lot of people who aren't in his shoes to probably call it a quits right now. Yet he feels like he's still young in his career. What I'm thinking is he's probably prone to seizures. You know, everybody's different, but for the most part, honestly, and this is coming from a guy who's been punched in the face, you know, in real life, you know, a couple times, just to say that. But there's fighters and stuff, and there's old school QBs that go way back. You know, Terry Bradshaw is crazy now, but God only knows how many, you know, in his era, how many concussions there really were, and they just kept on going. They didn't even know what a concussion was then, you know what I mean? They just kept playing.
And that's true.
They kept playing for years.
But then the NFL ended up facing several billions of dollars in lawsuits because they didn't let players know. And the only thing I'll say is, if I'm Tua, I'm thinking about how Miami has done me wrong, because they rushed him back from the one concussion. They acted like it wasn't that bad. They acted like it wasn't a concussion. They tried to put him back in the game. There was just a lot of things done wrong on Miami's part. We all know they had the thing with the doctor, and he was basically the fall guy. I would just be looking at, is this organization something that I truly want to put my life on the line for every single week? And it's not even about the competitive aspect. It's not even about the money aspect. It's just about, what do you really want to give to have everything possibly taken away from you? Okay.
And
Why do you think Giselle divorced Tom Brady? Because she got to the point where it's like, you're going to get hurt, right? It's inevitable. And not for nothing, he gets hit a lot. He gets sacked a lot. He's not a big guy. And I'm not saying he can't play. He can ball. All right, Tua can ball. I'll be the first to say he can play.
Sure.
But is it really, really worth? He'll get millions of dollars still, so it shouldn't be about the money. I'm sure you could fucking find some investment guru to turn that into the same money you get from the NFL. But I bet you Miami right now is kind of kicking themselves because they felt the pressure to give him a contract. And that's the reason they held out of that contract for so long, was they weren't really sure if they wanted to invest this kind of money into a player that's had these kind of health concerns, right? So if you guys are just now tuning in, we're live here in the Sit Down, a sports and entertainment show on Facebook Live at Anthony Bomasudo and the Gamebook Facebook page. It's the Gamebook Sports Network. And also on YouTube at Buffalo Sauce Guy, where you can catch all my social medias. Make sure you're liked, following, subscribed with your notifications turned on so you don't miss the live versions of the Sit Down. But if you do miss the live versions, or you miss any of my live coverage of anything about Buffalo sports and sports entertainment, you can always check it out via audio podcast wherever you may get your podcast from. This is presented by BuffaloSauceGuy.com, Duff's Famous Wings, Zuba's Own 716 Sports Card and Memorabilia Store, the Big Tree Inn in Orchard Park right next to the stadium, and Louis Bar in Attica, home of a great wreck and wing combination. So, fellas, we got to get into a little bit of the Pain Train's defensive breakdown, and that's going to be talking about everything the Buffalo Bills defensively did right, and we want to hear from Kirby about what his Jaguars defensively didn't do right or what they did do right and what you can build on, because we do have themselves a big Week 3 coming up against the Jaguars, and we all know some of the games that have gone down in the past, so we got to be prepared. Kirby's going to give us some insight right here in Pain Train. All right, Kirby, talk to me. The Jaguars, man, you guys kind of had Miami in Week 1. Overall, what is the defense doing right? What are they not doing right? And what are you looking to build on for your team coming up?
Well, I don't think it's a problem of applying the pressure when we need to. I think we're really good up front. I mean, really, man-on-man coverage is okay. Our backfield is a bit sloppy at times and just loses coverage. I don't know. I think Josh Allen, they're going to put a lot of pressure on him. They're going to try to keep rushing. They're going to try to stuff the run. But that's going to leave Allen to kind of scramble and possibly make some short yardage plays, throw some bombs here and there as we've seen in the past. I'm just hoping that we have our, shit together and we play a tough game and we just cover well, those receivers.
So we're going to talk about
defensively. You sound scared, Kirby. You sound scared.
I've seen a lot of sloppy plays, and it's not mostly on defense either. I have my gripes on defense, and I am a little bit intimidated because of the play calling has been ass, if you ask me.
That's what I was going to ask about. Do you have faith in your coaching at this point?
I know it's early, so fingers crossed. I still have a little bit of faith. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. If I have any complaints, really, it's mostly on the coach and Press Taylor. I mean,
so we're talking about defensively, what our teams have done right. We're going to talk about what the Bills did defensively correct against the Miami Dolphins. But stay tuned as we have to discuss everything offensive going on with both of our teams, the Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills as well, because this is something that I think a lot of people are paying a lot of attention to, is this Jaguars offense. You guys revamped it up a little bit with Gabe Davis. You didn't get Calvin Ridley back, but it's okay. You still have your receiving core. You have Evan Ingram, who I believe has been hurt. But your running back core looks okay as well. But we're going to talk about that in just a few moments. Still tuned ahead is also the first and goal, a trivia game between these two guys. We're going to see who wins in the first 7. And also ahead as well as getting saucy and the Modown hits of the week as well. So defensively, Modown, what are the 3 things the Buffalo Bills did right to get themselves the opportunities to make interceptions and win that game?
Like I said earlier, pressure on Tua. First off, the line was awesome. Von Miller looked like old Von Miller. His spin move on the one play was as fast as I've ever seen him do it. He was so fast off the line. I mean, he definitely made a difference. Oliver too, kind of quiet game from Russo a little bit, but putting the pressure on Tua for sure. And then obviously good coverage in the back end. and obviously just an all around awesome by the whole defense. Really, they all played great.
When you look at the defense, it's almost as if there's a lot of stars, not superstars. Not saying that they don't play at superstar level, but I'm saying that there's just a lot of stars. It could be 1 week it's Greg Rousseau, 1 week it's Ed Oliver, 1 week it's AJ Epinesa. It's always somebody, and it's just that's what you want to see. Sometimes offenses are going to focus more to Greg Rousseau because they've seen the way that he can play defensively and get 3 sacks in the first week. But Von Miller looks crisp. He looks more focused. Awesome. He looks determined. His drive is there. I think the 3 things the Bills defensively did the best was their secondary made use of whatever bad throws that they could and whatever mistakes the offense made for as well. But I think the best thing overall, which I'm going to say for both offense and defense, is the clean game of no penalties, playing sound, standing tall, making plays, never getting worried, right? Staying poised. And that's something that I thought the Bills defense did very well as well. And I really liked what I saw out of the young linebackers, Dorian Williams and Baylon Spector. They had a huge task to tackle guys that have played. I mean, hey, Tua was in the game for most of the game, and then you still have to cover Tyreek Hill. You still have to cover Jalen Waddle. You still have Devon Chan. It ain't like they don't have guys out there that couldn't play, but we just did our best to shut down. It looked like Tyreek Hill right from the start. He never got it going, and overall, Miami just never seemed to be that Miami offense that people talked about in recent years. So it makes you wonder, is there a little bit going on with their system, coaching, personnel, or did the Bills just really play that great defensively? I think it's a combination of all those things. Absolutely. So let's go into the victory formation. We're going to talk about what the Bills and Jaguars have been doing correct offensively as of late. Kirby, break it down for me, brother. Obviously, we talked, Trevor Lawrence got a big payday, okay? And I like Trevor Lawrence. I think the kid can play. I think he's got so much more leadership than people realize sometimes. What offensively are you guys needing to do a little bit more of to kind of start scoring some more points and kind of help out that defense a little bit?
Okay, so first of all, our offensive line, I don't know what's been going on lately. I know we made some improvements, but I'm seeing a lot of them just break down. Play after play, not providing enough protection for Trevor. And once again, he has like a couple seconds to throw the ball. So we haven't seen much. I mean, we've seen some flashes, but BTJ, our rookie wide receiver, if he has just enough protection, all the passing weapons that he has, the wide receivers, you mentioned Gabe Davis, superb talents. You would imagine that this offense should be flying high, passing for touchdowns.
You guys got Brian Thomas Jr. in the draft, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kirby, let me ask you this. I've looked because I looked at the stats. You guys don't. If you guys don't know, back when I first started in the world of Bills content creation and journalism per se, I used to write articles for the Cold From Report on Facebook, and I covered the draft in 2020, and I watched extensive tape on Gabe Davis, and I loved what I saw out of UCF against one specific game. Is all I had to really watch was his game against LSU. He didn't have a quarterback throwing to him that was any good. Playing against a much better team at LSU, but he was able to get separation. His speed down the field was huge. He was able to make big plays. He could haul in whatever he could that was anywhere in his sights, and I just liked what I saw of him. But I also saw great run blocking. So let me ask you this, Kirby: who is the true number one option in this offense for the Jaguars?
I got to go with the youth and the upside and the talent of BTJ. I do think Gabe Davis is a superb athlete, like I've said, a superb talent at wide receiver, a top tier kind of player, great personality, team player. I think talent wise, though, BTJ is probably that guy. We just have not been able to see it, come to fruition yet. We've seen some flashes from an unexpected player, take Bigsby out of nowhere.
Yeah,
been balling,
exactly.
Kind of been on a tear lately. So that brings me a lot of hope in him because we didn't see that last season. He was kind of just lackluster. And I know Etienne, he's kind of playing. He's good. He's getting the volume, but he's not looking the same as he used to be. There's flashes of it. I just think it's just early in the season. Maybe some cage rust, so to speak.
I do think you guys will be okay. I haven't looked at the Jaguars' schedule going forward. And, I mean, obviously, if you come to Buffalo and get a win, that's going to be good, huge for you guys. But if you come to Buffalo and you leave 0-3, it's going to be like, all right, something's got to get going here. And I'm not saying that in like a bad way. I have a lot of respect for the Jaguars because I really, really like Trevor Lawrence. And obviously, you got guys over there that I like and respect, and Gabe Davis, ETN Jr., my fantasy running back. But overall, I think we got to talk about what the Bills offensively are doing correctly. And that's something that you're going to want to pay close attention to, because everybody saw week 1, Josh Allen, 4 touchdowns. Mow down, it was James Cook for 3 touchdowns. What do you think this Bills offense identity is currently right now? And that's winning them to 1-2 games in a row. What does the Bills offensive identity really look like?
I don't think they got it yet. First game, there was a lot of pass. This last game, there was a lot of run. If anything, the identity, like we've kind of touched on a few times, is displacement, spread the ball out. It's going to be a widespread offense. We got 8 to 10 different targets a game that he's going to use, and that's what I think is going to ultimately become the identity of the offense. Well, but they're piecing it together.
I saw Kincaid targeted early, and I kind of talked about.
Nice.
I thought that was going to be their main guy going for the whole game, but I think they saw the run game was there. And the run game was just nonstop. James Cook was nonstop. It was going to be a big week for James Cook. And I think the thing that I'm noticing the most about this Bills offense is Joe Brady can dial up a good game plan. And Joe Brady can call some brilliant plays. I even just seen some of the pass plays and how it really opens up the field for certain guys. And he's utilizing everybody's skills and talents like properly. And I like that. Everybody in the world thought Josh Allen's going to come out and be the father of Miami like he always is, right? But he didn't have to. You just didn't have to. You had the Bills defense that played sound. You had the Bills offense that got it done and made plays, and they scored points when they had to. The Bills offensive identity is truly the entire offense. And when I say that, I mean that anybody can beat you. Keon Coleman, we saw in week 1, he had himself some big catches. Khalil Shakir can go up there and get anything. So can Dalton Kincaid. So can Dawson Knox. So can Curtis Samuel. MVS, if he gets open down the field and Josh hits him, right? We've got playmakers. But then you add in the running backs of James Cook, Ty Johnson, and Ray Davis. I mean, you just have a ton of guys that are playing really good offensively, but let's give some shout-outs to the offensive line. These guys have played next to each other for a lot of years, except for the obviously loss of Mitch Morris, but you got Osiris Torrance coming in a year or two. You got Deion, you already know Dawkins, Spencer Brown looking like an absolute all-star, getting a fucking 4-year extension as well. And you're just – I like what I'm seeing out of the offensive line. They have made it seem more comfortable, and Josh Allen looks comfortable. And not once did it seem like the hand was a factor, the hand injury, obviously. Yeah. I think Josh Allen is just really playing sound football as the leader of this team and the guy that people are looking to, not the guy that they're looking to get to. You know what I'm saying? Like Stephon Diggs, he wanted the ball coming his way constantly, right? It just doesn't need to be that way.
No way.
Truly great offensive teams are teams that are just well-balanced, and it's like – the way I was taught playing Madden, you run it down their throats until they stop it, right? And that's kind of what the Bills offensively did with James Cook, Ty Johnson, and Ray Davis. And it wasn't much Josh Allen running the football, right? But that's okay. If you guys are just now tuning in, though, hit us with a like and a share. It's the Sit Down, a sports entertainment show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live with myself, the Sauce Guy, Modown, and Kirby right here. And we are talking everything Bills offensively and defensively and what they've done. So let's talk about who our picks for the MVPs of the week are. So, Kirby, we're going to have to leave you out of this one, buddy, because you did not come out with a win. I'm sure that, hey, you want to say somebody like Trevor Lawrence, ETN, but you guys got to get yourselves back on track. But I fully expect you guys are going to play us in a very, very tough manner in Buffalo, and I don't expect it to be an easy game at all. I really think the Jaguars come to play whenever they do come to play, especially now that you don't have Jalen Ramsey, because he's a curse. Obviously he's not like the 0-6 against Josh Allen in his career. Modown, I'm going to say obviously offensively for me, I'm going to guess for you is James Cook. Is that correct?
I would say, yeah, definitely. He was the star of the offense. Absolutely.
For me, it's going to be Joe Brady for the offensive MVP of the game, because I really think that the way he is dialing things up, the way that he's utilizing everybody's skill sets and everything that is just combined into make this identity of the offense is just unparalleled. Defensively, who's your pick for the MVP of the game?
I would. What the hell is his name? The dude with the 2 picks. I forget his name already.
Jamarcus Ingram.
Thank you. Yeah,
I know.
That's how unknown.
Jamarcus Ingram, motherfucker, what you doing? You know what I'm saying?
That's how unknown it is. You know what I mean? We pulled the guy. He was what, second, third stringer, and now all of a sudden he's looks like the hero.
I'm going Damar Hamlin, man. He had himself a fucking task.
Great.
You got 2 all-world
Good
receivers
choice.
back there, and he had 10 total tackles. He's leading the way as the starting safety. Everybody thought, oh, he shouldn't even make the team. He's showing that him and Taylor Rapp could definitely play safety out there, and I like what I'm seeing out of those guys, especially with the absence of Taron Johnson due to injury. So we're going to go into our next segment here, the Modowns of the Week, which is brought to you by Zubazone 716 Sports Card Memorabilia Store right there in Depew, and owned and run by our guy Modown right here. So let's go ahead and start off with this.
Well, here you got Cook on his beautiful run. And then all of a sudden we got Poyer, nothing. Eating dirt. That was
and he
fantastic.
flips into the end zone right there. You got to love that. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
that was the Modowns of the Week, run by my guy Modown over here, giving you guys a little quick highlight of James Cook's 3rd touchdown of the day, an absolute burst running the football, and an absolute electric offensive performance from our guy James Cook. And that's presented by Zubazone 716 Sports Card Memorabilia Store. And this show is presented by BuffaloSauceGuy.com, Duff's Miss Wings, Louis Bar in Antica, and Big Tree Inn in Orchard Park. So, fellas, let's get ready for a little bit of first and goal. All right, fellas, I hope you guys are ready to play a little bit of first and goal trivia presented by Louis Bar in Attica, home of one of the best whack and wing combos in all of Western New York, and a great place to have yourself some drinks, play pool, a little bit of jukebox, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, bada bing, bada boom. So Kirby and we have Modown going head to head for this week in the first and goal trivia game. So let's get it going, fellas.
Let's get it.
Let's start with the very first. Kirby, we're going to come to you to start. Actually, no, we're going to have you guys write these down if you can. Kirby, if you got something to, do you have something to write down?
Not at the moment.
I came prepared. Prepared.
Jason's going to write it down, Kirby, and you're going to answer out loud. So that means, Modown, you can't be fucking changing your answer. All right, Kirby, how many offensive linemen are in a normal formation in football?
6.
What's your answer? The correct answer is 5. Modown, ding, 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 ding. All right, Modown is up 1-0. We have 7 questions. Let's see which one of you guys is going to come out with the most correct answers. All right. I don't think either of you guys will know that one. Who leads all tight ends in career receiving yards? Kirby.
For the Bills or for
all time, just in the NFL.
All time.
Oh yeah.
Gonzalez?
Hold on, give Modown a chance to write it down.
I'm still thinking, so give me a second.
Okay.
You're good.
Already blurted my answer out.
You're good. Go ahead.
Kirby?
I can't. I got the guy's name in my head and I can't.
Anthony Gonzalez.
Ding 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 ding. Kirby gets that one.
I went with Shannon Sharp.
Okay, so we got Kirby at 1 and Modown at 1. We've got 5 questions remaining. Okay, fellas, I like what I'm seeing. Which player was nicknamed the Minister of Defense?
Oh, that's easy.
Kirby, this might be a tough one for you, man. This is before our time.
You young cats. Not that I'm old or anything.
Is it Lawrence Taylor?
Not a bad guess.
Not a bad guess.
Definitely that error. Not a bad guess. But it is the man, Reggie White.
Yes, it is. Reggie White it's correct. 2-1, Modown.
I know that name.
4 questions.
Yes, Minister of Defense. He actually became a minister. He'll do his signature and he puts a little script after it and stuff.
Which 2 players in the MLB and NFL were both all-stars in both sports? There were 2 players.
Oh, that's
Kirby?
easy too. I'm all set.
Okay, go back. All-stars in both sports?
They played 2 sports. They were all-stars in both of them. What are those 2 players?
Man, how old are you, Kirby?
Okay, Deion Sanders.
There we go.
Good. Yep.
And
probably the best athlete ever.
Mike. It's not Michael Jordan. Is it Michael Jordan?
No, Michael
He's
Jordan
not an
only played
all-star in
AAA ball.
baseball. Shit.
You don't know?
I'm just losing it, man. I'm Bo Jackson.
Oh,
okay,
nice.
I'll give it to him. Is that what you got there, Modown?
Of course.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll give it to you both. All right, so we have what?
Hey,
Modown at
I was
3
a little
and Kirby at
foggy.
2?
You know what I mean? I was a little foggy. Slow processing tonight.
Again, a
All
little
right, here
before
we
your
go.
time.
Let's see which one I want to give you guys this next one. Which coach has the most all-time Super Bowl wins? Kirby?
Ready?
Is it Landry?
Nope.
Fuck, that's what I went with too.
Bill Belichick.
Bill. It's
Fuck.
fucking Bill.
6 Super Bowls, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. We got.
I just didn't want it to be
We're gonna
him.
go with. We're gonna go with one more question, unless Modown doesn't get it and Kirby does. Then we would have a 3-3 tie. So, Modown, you get this right, you win. Kirby, let's see if you guys can. Let's go.
Go to sudden
Which
death.
running back? Oh no, we're not gonna go that one. I've already done that one before. Let's go with. What player has scored the most PPR fantasy points in one game in the modern era?
Jesus.
I'll give you both a hint.
Okay.
All-time leading receiver.
Devontae Adams.
Well, with Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice is the correct answer. Ding, 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 ding. All right, Modown. Modown is this week's winner. So, Modown, we're going to give you 30 seconds of FaceTime. Go ahead, brother. What do you want to say?
I am the shit. I know my shit. Don't try to step to my shit. I got it on lock. Anybody wants to try and bring it, come too.
I love it. That's the First and Goal trivia game, guys. Feel free to participate with us any single week here in the comment section, right here in the sit down. That is presented by Zubas. That is presented by Louis Bar and Attica, but also got to give it to the Zuba Zone 716 Sports Card and Memorabilia Store right there in Depew. Make sure you guys check it out. Great spot for some Bills memorabilia. Great spot for some cards. I saw some sealed product coming in the store as well. So, Modown, what do you got going on at the store, brother? Talk to us about it.
Dude, I've brought in a huge consignment group that's going to bring the trading card market big to the shop. I've tried to do it myself, and I mainly focus on memorabilia and signed items, jerseys, helmets, things of that nature. Stuff you see behind me here, signed. But they're going to be bringing in a huge assortment of cards, sealed packs, hobby boxes, cheaper stuff, higher end stuff, graded cards, all kinds of stuff, man. Really bring the card game, buying out collections, things like that people come in with. So these guys are ready to put a stamp on the card game in my shop.
Hell yeah. And of course, I bring that up because my guy Kirby here is big into cards as well. Him and I used to do stuff together on Whatnot. In fact, I still got a bunch of his cards sitting right here.
I got thousands.
Too bad Kenny Pickett ain't got no fucking worth now.
Oh,
I'll tell you that much. But let's get into stirring the sauce. This is going to be presented by Big Tree Inn in Orchard Park, one of the best spots for chicken wings in all of Western New York. Stop in on the Thursday nights. I think they're right now 75-cent wings on Thursday nights. Make sure you guys check them out. Right next to the stadium, one of my all-time favorite chicken wings, hot Cajun, wet Cajun, the fucking best. I'll tell you what, I go there, I don't eat anything less than 30. Crush a fucking few blue lights, and that's it. Bada bing. But let me start off this week by stirring the sauce. Let me say, I heard all these people now trying to give us our flowers in the media. Stephen A. Smith. I don't want to fucking hear it. They are not on our bandwagon before all the season started, before all the stuff happened with Stephon Diggs, and even after all the stuff happened with Stephon Diggs. Then don't jump on my fucking bandwagon. There ain't no room. All right, Bills Mafia till I fucking die. I've been here when fucking J.P. Lawson was quarterback, when fucking Trent Edwards was quarterback, when we fucking Kelly Holcomb. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, Jeff Toole? Thad Lewis? Come on, man.
Brian
what
Brown?
The fuck? E.J. Manuel. I fucking was the first person to ever get his jersey in Buffalo. Swear to God. And then what the fuck? Kyle Orton, Uncle Rico, Matt Castle, Tyrod Taylor. Thank you. He did his part, and he brought us
was
to
all right.
playoffs.
He was respectable.
I love Tyrod. But Josh fucking Allen, y'all want to jump on his dick now? You should have been here from the start. Quick shout out to Josh Allen. Is it in you? Gatorade fucking mural in downtown Buffalo in the Statler building. That is beautiful. We absolutely love you, Gatorade. Thank you very much. Mano mia, God bless you. Chidros out there. That is me stirring the sauce this week. So let's go into our next segment of the weakest link. We're going to talk about who was the worst or funniest player this week for both of our respective games. Kirby, your game, as well as our game against the Miami Dolphins. Let's go into the weakest link if I can find the damn video. Of course, coming back to Orchard Park is Mac Jones, fucking backup quarterback for the fucking Jaguars. Modown, my pick for the weakest link this week, it's gonna be Mike McDaniel. He just looks like a fucking coke kingpin now. He doesn't look like an NFL head coach or a ball boy. He looks like him and Pablo Escobar traded souls from the dead. And instead of running a football team, he said, hey, I'm going to go over here and damage it. Mike McDaniel is my weakest link of the week. And yeah, he always says he wishes it were colder. Fuck that. Kirby, who was the weakest link in the Jaguars game this week?
Oh, man. You mentioned Mike McDaniel, and he looks like, okay, a guy that's watched the movie Spring Breakers, and then it just became his whole personality.
He never left.
Like, dude. And as far as the Jaguars go, before I touch on the Jaguars, we're talking about, I want to do a bonus round of trivia. Do you guys know what the two most fragile things in the NFL are?
A Patriots fan's hands?
No, it's
loves Brady.
DeMar Hamlin's chest versus Tua's head.
All right, you motherfucker.
Came out on top of that.
You motherfucker. Kirby, I'll give you that one.
And as far as the Jags, I complain on I got to drag the whole offensive line, dude. Just protect Trevor. Jeez.
Kirby's one of those people. He'll go right to the fucking line. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love him and respect him, because he means nothing but good things. Kirby, my guy, love you very much. Appreciate you for being on the show today. Modown, who was your pick for the weakest link in the Bills Dolphins game?
Honestly, I'm not quite sure off the top of my head here. Like, not the weakest link, but I wish I could have seen more of Coleman. You know, it would have been nice to incorporate a little more,
always
passing
go with
as
the
far
guys
as
in the Bills. I respect it.
What's that?
Okay. I like it. So Keon Coleman, definitely, he didn't seem to be much of the offensive
Not a weak link,
choice, but that's okay.
Would have liked to see a little more.
I respect it.
Give it time. This guy.
Oh, I'm not worried. I'm not worried by any means.
Oh, no.
I'm
we want to see
excited.
him
I need
be
to
more
see that first
instrumental,
touchdown. You know what I mean? We need to just kind of get that going, man. I'm not worried by any means. I'm just excited.
So that's going to bring us into our next and final segment here of Getting Saucy, presented by Duff's and the Swings. Remember that medium is hot. You don't have to ask for them extra crispy. If you go to the original, I've shared it. Drive. Tell Joe Duff Sauce God sent you. The highest chicken wing I have ever rated. Fucking perfect fucking 10. People bitch about it still to this day that it's too high of a score. Sorry, it's too good of a chicken wing to give it anything less. Let's get saucy right here in the Sit Down, a sports entertainment show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Friday nights at 6:30, and also available via audio podcast wherever you may get your podcast the following day.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Ice cold, nice refreshing Labatt Blue on a beer store behind J817.
It's a cold front, is what that is.
I'm fired up this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get you fired up. Bills Mafia, want to hear me getting saucy this week? It's simple. Mac Jones and the New England Patriots, and also, too, the Miami Dolphins, and anybody that's got anything bad to say. Bills by a billion, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Bills. Yeah, we showed up week 2. It wasn't fucking super duper hot. It was humid. You could see everybody sweating. But Miami weren't able to cook the Buffalo Bills because we brought our own chef this week. And that's hashtag let James cook. We cooked the fucking Dolphins. We were eating seafood all fucking night long. No, I don't want any salmon. No lobster. No crab. No scallops. Just fucking pure dolphin on my fucking plate because I got to eat. And that's all the Buffalo Bills did. They got it done play after play. No mistakes. Sean McDermott said, fuck Mike McDaniel. His Coke sucks. And then Josh Allen said, I don't need to throw it very much because I got James Cook. James Cook said, I'm hungry. I've got to eat. Then, hey, what else do we need to do? Just pick off Miami's offense 3 times, shut them down, make them look completely non-existent. That's what the Buffalo Bills are ready to do week in and week out as we are getting ourselves ready for a Monday Night Football heavyweight matchup with the Buffalo Bills and Jaguars in Orchard Park for Monday Night Football, part of a Monday Night Football doubleheader on ESPN. So make sure you guys tune in with us on Monday night before the game for your Bills pregame show, giving you an update on everything with the injuries, offensive and defensive predictions, as well as our Getting Saucy wing review at the very end of each and every single show on the pregame show for the Buffalo Bills, right here in the Sit Down on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, presented by BuffaloSauceGuy.com, Duff Smith's Wings, Zuma Zone 716 Sports Card and Memorabilia Store, and Big Tree Inn, as well as the Louis Bar in Attica. I'd like to thank my co-host, Kirby. Appreciate you very much for stopping in and talking to us everything about the Jaguars and talking to us about everything in the NFL. And I'd like to thank my other co-host, Mo Down, who won this week's First and Goal Trivia. And as always, your host, the Sauce God, at Buffalo Sauce God across all social media platforms, right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, next Friday at 6:30, and also before the Bills take place on Monday Night Football in Orchard Park. God bless every single one of you out there. Stand tall, bolster the fuck up. Have a great weekend and be safe. And as always, go Bills.
Go Bills.